Hi, we have Marianne Pageant today with us to talk about real estate, sales, her successes in the industry. And Marianne, why don't you just introduce yourself?
I think you're doing such a great job. I don't think I need to.
Oh, you've done so much. We need to hear about what
I
you've
don't
done.
have enough time for everything I do, but the basics are I'm a coach. I'm an intuitive empowerment coach. I am also a real estate agent and a partner with eXp Realty. I have my own publishing company called Empowered Voice Publishing. I co-own a radio station with Robert J. Moore called Magnetic FM Radio. I have a podcast of my own called Meditation Millionaire, and I'm planning on adding a real estate one called Real Estate Ins and Outs. I do have a radio show called Real Estate Ins and Outs, and I have a book called Real Estate Ins and Outs, and it has my beautiful host here as my forwarder. So Nicole was kind enough to do the forward here. Look at the book. This is gorgeous, except you can't see when I do that. So let me do it this way. And it just went international bestseller, as all of my books pretty much do. I have a few other books, and I have a ton that I'm in. So I'm in another maybe 16 books, and I have 3 more of my own that are mine, and they're beautiful. So I do a lot of meditation. I'm a meditation specialist, and I also do workshops. Well, I will be doing more retreats now that we're all allowed to go out.
Mm-hmm.
What else do I do?
You do a whole lot of things. And I'm impressed with all those books that you've published. Like,
Yes.
That's just amazing. That's amazing. So I want to get into like real estate a little bit, just for the viewers. You know, a lot of what I facilitate and teach is cold calling, sales training, you know, all of that fun stuff that either people love to do or hate to do. And I know real estate involves a ton of cold calling and a ton of, you know, grunt work. So what's your take on all the grunt work? I mean, you're already established, clearly. But what is your take? I mean, I know you're a big networker. I know you're very good at getting out there, but what is your take?
I am actually in 7 masterminds, which also helps. So with eXp Realty, the company that I'm with, we do something with agents all over the world. Because we're international, we can literally work internationally. So while my license is not good in England, let's say, or anywhere outside of Ontario, I can actually refer people within the company and capture a referral fee. So technically I can. And so, you know, the benefit to the client of being referred is that the agent will take extra care of you because they answer to me. So if the client is unhappy, they're going to tell me, why did you refer me to her or him? And blah, blah, blah. And then I'm going to take care of the situation and perhaps change the agent. So agents behave differently, obviously, like every other human being, right? And as far as sales go, are you kidding? We're selling ourselves all the time. If you go out on a date, you're selling yourself to the other person. So you're continuously selling yourself. Cold calling, yeah, we do cold calling. We do, you have to be careful of the do not call list, but there's cold calling, my existing database, which really isn't cold calling, it's more warm calling, but still, it's pretty intense. And then cold calling from the telelisting, and then of course, door knocking.
Yeah, that's the traditional way. I mean, forget the phones, you know, walking door to door, right?
I love door knocking. So I am a bit of a fair weather door knocker. You know, if it's really bad outside and freezing cold, I won't go, just because I don't know. I've been doing it for years. I don't want to be doing it, you know, when it's raining. But I know I have some team members that go. They're very scheduled, and so they go on a very regular basis. And so when they go, it's like, okay, it's every day at this time, no matter what, rain.
So it's still happening. So the door knocking is still very much alive.
Super alive. In fact, it's one of the best ways, because people will always respond better to you when they see you. So even when I'm doing whatever sales technique I'm doing, I try to get on video, because seeing the person gives you an immediate sort of connection, right?
Feel for who they are, right?
And it makes the other person feel comfortable that you're not some Joe who's calling, and nothing wrong with the name Joe, calling them going, oh, la, 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 la. And it's, sometimes you can connect with the person, and I certainly can. I mean, I've been doing B2B cold calling for 8 years. I used to work as a recruiter, a headhunter type person. So I've done that.
I have experience with the headhunting as well in the recruiting, and the sales cycle so much faster than in real estate.
Oh,
so I found it a lot easier. I personally found it a lot easier. I don't know if you have, but
yeah, a little bit quicker. Yes. Sometimes it can drag on. It just depends. It just depends. Like I have a deal right now that's going to be going, the closing date is like 3.5 months, which is unusually extra long. 2 months is the norm. I have others that close super fast. But I've been lucky enough lately to do exclusive deals. So that's kind of my goal. That's my ultimate goal, is to work with investors because they're quick to make up their mind, and to matchmake people, right? So I'm a real estate matchmaker, really, when you think about it. So I'm going to match people up, this person to that person. And when you do an exclusive listing, you don't bother putting it on MLS because you're not really selling it to anybody else, right? This one comes along, like I had one, the neighbor came along across the street, we did it, and that was it, right? Like, there's no networking is massive. And I think with all the stuff you've done, right, you build your network. It's just not something that happens overnight. So what would you tell, let's say, a new sales rep out there, they don't have a big network, they can't matchmake as quickly as you do, right? Well, so what would you tell them? It takes time. So what would you tell them? Like, what would you advise them? How would I start? There's numerous other ways that you can start. You need to start now. Now, what's happening with the younger people that are coming in? So and by younger, I was 50. I'm 60 now, and I was 50 when I got my real estate license. So it's never too late. It's never too late. But, we're talking about people that are younger now. So they're much techier than I am. So using social media is huge. Get yourself some sort of lead generation training where you can do it yourself. For most of us, people who are already a little bit more established and a little bit older, for two reasons. One, we don't have time, and two, we don't know how. And it take me a long time to learn how to do it, and I have bigger fish to fry. Because I have all these other businesses, I don't really have time to sit there and play around with social media. So having said that, some training in it would be good, because then even though you're sourcing it out, you still know what you're asking for. And then you can judge better whether this person is doing a good job or not. And then you can move on to the next person or company or whatever. We have a phenomenal CRM in our company. So I'm going to talk only about my brokerage, because it's a third brokerage I'm working at, and I love it. And for young people, it is amazing because it's all cloud-based. We don't have an office to go to. We can use Regis offices for free if we like, which I have for various events. Then you pay a very tiny amount, and there's so many benefits to it. But we have an actual CRM called KV Core that we get for free, all of us, but it costs $500 a month if anybody else wants to get it. So the other brokerages have to pay. They might get some sort of discount that varies on the brokerage, but that's a very good one. And you can make ads and put them directly onto Facebook or wherever.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Yeah. So landing page, get another one, and get out there. Get out there, say yes to every event that there is. Now, I'm a big lover of masterminds. Get into masterminds. So Robert J. Moore and I are starting up a mastermind as of July 1st, and we're going to be meeting twice a month. I believe it's an hour and a half. Robert's really the one in charge of putting all this, and it's going to cost $83. If you bring in 2 people, it's $83 a month US. So it's amazing. It's like getting a mini coaching session I'll be doing some. Robert will be doing more probably, or some. It is hugely valuable. I belong to 7 masterminds. I have some in the UK. I have some in the US. I have some here in Canada. I don't
Where
have.
do you have time to sleep? When do you sleep?
I do. I get it in there. I sneak it in there.
Right. No, that's good. So what you're saying basically is, just get
out there
as much as possible. I attend quite a few networking events myself, and I always see 1 or 2 agents at them.
And you know what? When somebody in your brokerage asks if anybody wants to do an open house, volunteer immediately and go do it. I still do that. Like if I have, it doesn't happen often, but if I have a free day or I had one free weekend. It was back in February. And I did an open house for someone. It was so much fun. I did it in Newmarket for my local people. That's about an hour away from me. But I have a friend that lives up there. So I went to go see her, and then I went exploring and I thought, well, this is a good market to know, because I've done lots of business in Niagara Falls. And that's a good hour and a bit away from me, and places like Kitchener and London. So it's
good to be aware of what other people are doing and what's going on, because markets change and things change so quickly. Yeah. And as in real estate, you need to be aware of everything that moves and moves fast.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. And also, all of that. So you need to do your work. You need to start building your database. You can certainly hire a lead generation if you want to, but why not just do it yourself, And the other thing is too, you got to work on your mindset. Always work on your mindset. Always, always, always work on your mindset, because mindset is everything. Everything starts from mindset, and then it goes down to the physical. And then the other thing is, get into books. If you have a chance, get into books. Like there's nothing better. I'm telling you, there's nothing like a book as a marketing tool. I'm going to be giving this to all of my clients, and so are all of the agents that are in here going to be doing it. You're going to be giving it to all of their clients. So if you can get yourself into a book, this is my first one in real estate, and it's Real Estate Ins and Outs Volume 1. So you know what that means. Volume 2 is coming.
Right.
So please connect with me if you want, if you're interested. What I do is I sell off the chapters, and then you get to come in. So this book went to international bestseller. So once you've written in a book that has gone international bestseller, you get to call yourself an international bestselling author. How do you think that's going to go over with your client?
Yeah, that's powerful. That's powerful.
There's no one who isn't going to be impressed by that.
It's all credibility. It's all credibility.
And it's good credibility. And people, like, I've had to coach some people to get into this, because they were, I've never written a chapter. I've never done this. And I go, all you have to do is talk about your favorite thing in real estate and what you're really good at, and pretend you're talking to the client, because we're trying to help the clients. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to help the clients with this. We're trying to.
And you hit home with that. Like, you have to focus on what it is that you love to do, right? Because in sales, like whether it's real estate, whether it's, anything else, any business that people are in, they have to love what they do, or they can't sell it. They can't make the calls. They can't pitch. They can't network. They can't do anything unless they're passionate about what it is that they do. And clearly, you're passionate about real estate. So that's amazing.
I have loved real estate since I was 15 years old. Back then we had magazines. Back in the day, we had magazines. And I used to go through the magazines, and I used to tell my mom, I'm going to buy a house like this. I'm going to buy a house like this. I actually told her I'm going to buy a condo right here in this building. And there was a complex of 4 buildings that it was across the river from a park. And I would say, I'm going to buy it in this one, and it's going to face this way. And I did.
That's amazing. I love that. And that's mindset, like what you were saying right at the beginning. It's all about what you visualize, what you see, and
mindset, credibility, everything. I had to do credibility. I mean, look at this. I got lucky enough that I went into a book with Bob Proctor, and I'm so happy.
I love Bob Proctor.
So do I. I love him. Dr. John DeMartini, Douglas Vermeeren, like all these people from The Secret. And I'm so super, super honored, especially now that Bob Proctor has left us. Like, he's such a genius, right? Like, he's so amazing. So he will definitely be missed. But yeah, you know, and so get out there and do everything. Get out to various meetings, go to sports events, get yourself known out there, take your business card and give it to everyone that you see.
And do people actually still use a business card these days?
Yes, we do.
They do?
Not that much like we did before. Like, between agents now, we mostly just leave our numbers, you know, and with the younger people, I'm mostly just texting, and they're doing that. Sometimes I'll take a picture of my actual card and I'll send it to them. You know, sometimes we'll do that. But we need agents need to leave a business card when we go do a showing. So that's kind of what we use it for. But that's really, sometimes I don't even do that because I'm calling the agent. That's one of my superpowers, is if my client is super interested in the property, I try to connect with the agent so that we can create a relationship, so that when he gets my offer, he knows who I am.
Beautiful.
That's
and
just,
you know, I have like a burning question here, like one final question before we end off. You know, you obviously accomplished a lot of different things over the years. Now, I just want to understand, how do people get started? Where do they begin? Like, that's the magic question. I know you're saying get out there, attend events, be seen, but if no one knows who the heck you are, like, where do you start?
So the best place to start is get a coach. I have three.
Okay.
3 coaches. I have my spiritual coach, I have my business branding coach, and I have my real estate coach. So I have 3, and I'm a coach.
Right. Yeah, mentor the mentor.
You should have at least one. And the coach that you have had better be really good at mindset, because that's the first place to start. So I do a lot of.
Look, I really appreciate this time with you, Marianne. Let's do this again.
Me too. Thank you so much. I look forward to it. And thanks for having me on your show.